kids need to learn about two dads or two moms or any of this. It's unnecessary and it's just going to confuse them. A conversation about putting P and V was really had on a Disney movie. Vanessa Hudgens claims that she is a witch and an occultist. She actually made a whole documentary about her occult practices called...
See? And just because they pretty don't mean they good. Hey guys, it's your girl Key. Thanks for clicking on me. If you are new, welcome. And if you are a return subscriber, hey, what's poppin'? You already know it's nothing but motivation, inspiration, and exposing the nation. I forgot biblical information because it's like Jesus over here. Jesus game, period. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you don't love him. I don't care if you don't know him. You should get to know him. Okay, you should get to know him. And if you do know him, you already know, like, it's Jesus gang. Oh, blah, bang, click, clack, pow, pow, shots to the devil. Okay? Shots to the devil. All right, every day we wake up, we stepping on the devil's neck. Today we are watching this video together. I didn't even watch it, so we watching this video together, okay? So, I already know about Disney. I don't know if you know about Disney, but Disney, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and majority of these TV networks out here, Netflix, Hulu, they on demon time, for real. Like, I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure they've been on demon time since they started. They just showing their true colors. Like, you know, when you get somebody, like when you dating somebody, or when you trying to be a friend or friendship with somebody, just trying to get closer to somebody, and people portray themselves to be a certain type of way, or like they overly like promote themselves, like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, you don't gotta worry about me, I could do this for you, I could do this for you. Like, that should be a red flag. Like, why are you, I'm not doing none of that, I'm not doing nothing for you. Like, we're gonna be talking, I'm gonna be feeling you out for a minute before I even consider you to be a friend or anything. Like, no. No. If you come across somebody that's extra nice, beware, because they are sheep. No, they are wolf in sheep clothing. Okay? Be careful. Because that happened to me a few times. And like, you're just so fake. It's mad fake. Just leave me alone. Like, ugh. But let's get into it. This is a channel. This is the Truth Is channel. Like, bro, boy spitting facts. Like, he literally is saying everything that I already researched. So that's why I like coming to him, because he have everything I already researched. So I'm like, okay, you know what I know. So I like watching people that know what I know, and also can teach me a few things as well, because I need to continuously keep learning. But I've been talking for mad long. Let me play this video.
Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm back here with D.
Hi everybody, I hope you guys are having a great day.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Disney going way too far with their recent shows. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Disney is loved by millions of children around the world. So many kids grow up watching Disney's content, and it plays a big part in many kids' childhood. I remember being a kid watching Disney Channel every day. Millions of parents trust Disney to only provide kid-friendly content to their child audience. But what happens when Disney takes advantage of that trust parents have given and start pushing an agenda that only ruins children's minds?
Gravity Falls? Gravity Falls has so much symbolism, but when I first started watching Gravity Falls, I didn't know what was going on. Then I got in concert with the Lord, and he was like, girl, let me put you on the truth. And I was like, oh! Yo, this is real. Like, witchcraft is real. And this is how fame is, like, brought upon the world, because the world is given to Lucifer, and Lucifer do what he do. Like, he do what he do. He's a good tempter. Like, he tempts the people with the world, the money, the riches. Like, bro, that's, the Lord said, come out from amongst them. Okay, come out from amongst them. Like, ugh. And be separate. Okay, be separate. Let's get into it. I'm sorry for stopping that. But Gravity Falls, bro, I did not know what I was watching until, like, I went to Jesus. Like, I did not know nothing.
I have done videos on Disney in the past, and we spoke about its occult-driven content. Most of Disney's content is based on magical themes, introducing the idea that magic has two sides. I often see people comment this on the channel, claiming that there's two sides of magic, good and bad, when this honestly isn't true. God stated that all magic is forbidden. So many people think there's two sides to magic because of Hollywood, as they want you to believe that that's the truth. Disney plays an important role in all of this, as they introduce the idea of magic into children's minds at a very young age. Disney pushes occult values to its viewers because it was created by an occultist. Like I've said before, Walt Disney himself was a member of a...
Okay, just like you teach your kids, if your mommy teach you about Jesus, that means her roots was in Jesus, even though she might not be acting like it. All right, her roots, her brought ups was Jesus. Like my people, roots was brought up like Jesus, but they didn't really act like it. But I'm happy they did know about Jesus, okay? Because if they didn't know about Jesus, I wouldn't have had no roots to go back to Jesus. But if like you was growing up in like a satanic household and they was doing witchcraft and rituals, like you're gonna do what your fathers did, okay? You're just gonna copy what's around you. And it's a lot of testimonies out here that children was born into that and they got out of that and they went to Jesus. And that would be more on my channel, but yeah, let me play this video.
A Freemasonic organization called the Demolay Club for Boys, a Masonic club that prepares young boys to become Freemasons in adulthood.
And they got one for girls.
It's all over Disney, and is why all of its shows are about magic defeating evil, as the Masons love to paint themselves as the good ones using magic. Disney had an entire show about masonry called Gravity Falls that aired for 2 seasons back in 2012. The show was about magic and rituals, and it even displays a Freemason member in the show. Disney made this content to indoctrinate children into the occult life as young as possible, something that Disney is still doing to this day. I don't know if Disney only uses occultists as actors or they turn the actors into occultists, but I found this article that I thought was very interesting, and it shows just what Disney is trying to do. Many of you should remember the mega Disney franchise High School Musical. High School Musical was one of Disney's most successful franchise ever. It made Disney over $4 billion over its lifespan. So many kids watched High School Musical and loved the main characters Troy and Gabriella. Gabriella was played by the actress Vanessa Hudgens, who had developed a massive child audience during her role as Gabriella. Now, years later, she had recently came out and stated something very concerning to me. Vanessa Hudgens claims that she is a witch and an occultist. She actually made a whole documentary about her occult practices called...
See? And just because they pretty don't mean they good. Like, just because they look good don't mean they good. Just because they handsome don't mean they good. Like, I need to know who you worship, what you do behind closed doors. Like, who are you talking to? Who's your God? Do you talk to Jesus or do you talk to Iris? Or you talk to Saturn? Or you talk to Muhammad? Who are you talking to? Because if you're not talking to Jesus, baby, the Lord said do not be unequally yoked. So I need you to confess the Lord Jesus. Okay.
Called Dead Hot. In this documentary movie, she could be seen doing rituals and casting spells, all while trying to paint magic in a good light. In this interview, we can see Vanessa explaining her witch movie, doing her best to make it sound appealing and appear like a positive thing.
You're coming out as a witch?
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been such a journey, and I kind of had an awakening and had so many questions, was so curious. It was very much on this idea of like a spiritual brigade, and I kind of wanted to figure out who they were specifically so I can be more intimate with them, and I definitely got that.
As you heard for yourself, she was excited to admit she was a witch who practices ritual magic. It is not a coincidence that Disney is all about magic, wizards, and spells, while the actors admit to really being witches in real life who practice ritual magic. In my opinion, the reason Vanessa was even in Disney was because she was a part of the occult system. Remember, Walt Disney was born into Freemasonry. His father was a Mason. The Masons have both Masonry for young boys and for young girls. For the boys,
Period.
it's the Demolay organization.
Period. I said it.
People you see on here talking about
I told
dropshipping
you.
have never actually made money dropshipping. Now I don't have access.
That's why he my boy, because what he be
But
doing
I do
the
have
same
are the
research,
same
and
exact
I did
ads
not
in my
watch this.
feed
I'm watching it with
that
you.
you are seeing, and what I
Shut up.
organization, and for the girls is the Rainbow Girls organization. Both are Masonic organization for children. I believe from these Masonic organization is where Disney picks their young actors and actresses. Disney has used Vanessa Hudgens to shape many minds, and she's still being used for this many years later. Disney has always tried to hide inappropriate adult themes in their top kids shows as well, guiding kids to focus on things that only adults should be participating in. Recently, Disney released a movie that proves just that. They're trying to introduce kids and teens to things they shouldn't be thinking about. The movie is called Prom Pact. Prom Pact has made its rounds around the internet because of its several inappropriate scenes. The movie is about two high school friends who make a pact to go to prom together. Sounds like many other Disney movies, except for what happens in a few scenes that just goes to show what values Disney is pumping out to their tween audience. In one scene of the movie, the male main character has a conversation with another boy at his job, where the boy states something that almost doesn't seem real.
I've kissed a girl before.
Kissed? Ugh, are you 9? I'm talking about your P in a V. See that guy? His P has been some V.
As you heard for yourself, with no hesitation, they put this in a Disney movie. A conversation about putting P and V was really had on a Disney movie. The movie's available on Disney Plus as well. Disney knew what they were doing, and it's the reason they made the movie PG-13, to hide their hands. They know they couldn't make it PG.
Alright, so this is the target audience is kids, and I just want to tell you a story about me when I was a kid, because this is very, very vital for anybody who think that kids really think about this at a young age, because they're not. Okay, they're not thinking about none of this. I'm in, I don't know what grade I was. I believe I was in 6th grade. I was like really mad ignorant to sex and everything. Like, I was getting called virgin. I didn't even know what virgin was. I didn't know what sex was. I didn't know what none of this stuff was. My grandma didn't teach me none of this stuff, so I'm like so ignorant of what it was, and it never came across my mind. The only thing I cared about was fighting, eating, and drawing. That's it. You mess with me, I'll fight you. Leave me alone because I'm drawing. And when can we eat? Like, kids not thinking about nothing like this. Like, they're not thinking about prom. They don't even know what prom is. Like, they don't even know what health class is. They're not supposed to know, like, what. Bro, I didn't know what sex was until health class, and that was, what, 7th grade, middle school. They're not supposed to be teaching you stuff like that in elementary school like they're doing nowadays. That's wrong. It's so wrong.
PG because of the content. There's also another scene that shows a bunch of teenagers drinking something only adults are allowed to drink. It clearly appears Disney no longer cares. They are putting their agenda right in the open. Disney has even aimed their agenda at the very young kids with their show Dino Ranch. Dino Ranch is an animated show for kids 8 and up. It's a kids show that kids consume on a daily basis. In one of the episodes called Adoptosaurus Rex, they introduced the children to a plot line about two dad dinosaurs wanting to raise a baby together. So the kids in the show help the dads get an egg. Clear as day, we see Disney pushing the Little Nas X agenda directly to the kids, introducing topics to children they have no need learning about. A method of confusion, and it's honestly sad that many parents are happy about it. Children do not need to be learning about genders or preferences at the age of 8. The show shouldn't be focused on something that only adults are concerned about. An 8-year-old isn't thinking about genders, they're thinking about playing and having fun. Those over at Disney want to push this agenda and normalize it. They have always wanted the minds of the children. We know that these occultists have been after the little ones the entire time. Disney even openly showed us this themselves in their movie Hocus Pocus, a movie about witches using children for ritual magic. Disney has been pushing this agenda for years, but it's only becoming more and more aggressive. Back in 2022, they introduced the first trans character in an episode of That's So Raven's reboot called The Fierce Awakening. Disney was praised for this by many, as they cheer for Disney's woke values. The thing is, again, these shows are made for kids 8 and up, and it's supposed to be shows about kids being kids. Why introduce these characters that are unnecessary
Ain't
to
got
the
nothing to
plot?
do with
It's obvious what Disney is
these
doing with its
kids. Ain't got
program,
nothing to do with
pushing the
them.
Little Nas X agenda to the minds of growing kids,
And they happy about
normalizing it, as these will be the kids that lead the new world order. We the parents have to do our parts to stop this agenda. I have nothing against anyone's preference, as God tells us not to judge anyone, but I do 100% have a problem when this agenda is aimed at our...
First off, God did not say don't judge anyone. He said judge writes your judgment, and the same judgment that you judge will be the same judgment that you judge will be the one that judged you. All right, so we have a right to say what's right and what's wrong when it comes down to what God says. What God says, He said, judge righteous judgment. Don't judge off of your opinion. Judge off of righteous judgment. Judge off of the judgment that I gave you. Okay, not off of your opinion, your mind, your thoughts. We know what's right and what's wrong from God's standards. So yeah, I just want to put that out there because people think you're not supposed to judge, but you're supposed to judge righteous judgment, what's right and what's wrong. Okay, because if He wasn't doing that, if he wasn't judging people, He wouldn't make this video. Okay, He is showing you what's wrong about Disney. He is judging, not knowing that He is judging. Okay, because you are saying that Disney is wrong, in which they are wrong based on God's standard of what's right and what's wrong.
that are growing children who can be easily confused. These disturbing people are hiding behind wokeness when in reality, they're trying to push people to become further asleep. They want to destroy the rules of life God created and replace them with Aleister Crowley's twisted ideology of do what thou will. All these disturbing values come directly from Crowley's Book of the Law.
Okay, I really don't want to like keep pausing it, but I just want to say something. Like, dang. Have anybody watched Supernatural? If you watch Supernatural, put it down in the comments. Bro, I grew up like watching Supernatural. Like, bro, I feel like I was Dean. I feel like my little sister was Sam because she was so annoying. She was taller than me, so perfect. And Aleister Crowley, you know Crowley was like Satan's seat warmer, okay, in hell. Like, he was Satan's seat warmer. Like, and it's crazy. I didn't know Crowley was a real person until like a few years ago. I did not know this. I'm like, yo, Crowley is real. Jay-Z look up to him. Crowley is bad, guys. He's not good. He was Satan's seat warmer. He repped Satan. Like, he repped the bad side. Like, he went against, he wanted to live his life apart from God. So Crowley is real. If you ain't watched Supernatural, you need to watch Supernatural, because Supernatural is really based off the Bible. They literally letting you know what's about to happen because they base it off the Bible. The Bible's like a revelation. But let me be quiet.
Crowley was the man who created the term love is love. As he would say, love is the law, love under will. Your will, not God's. This is the same twisted agenda that they're pushing through Disney, directly to the minds of our children. Sadly, Disney has become the face of this agenda when it comes to the kids. They are changing their programming, adding it in their shows, adding it in their movies, and they're hoping to shape the minds of our kids. These are disturbing times because those who speak against it are the ones that are being seen as the enemy, when in reality, it's the ones that are pushing the agenda that is the problem. There is no reason for this content to be shown to children. And when I see it so openly, it just shows me how far they are along their plans. Disney has always been pushing an agenda to the children. Before, it was just pushing magic and occultism and inviting kids into the occult. But nowadays, they've shifted their agenda and are now pushing the Little Nas X agenda directly to the kids.
Yeah, this is really crazy, and especially considering the fact that I grew up with friends that actually were not allowed to watch anything but Disney Channel because their parents were really convinced that Disney Channel was good. Channels like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network were bad, and now that I think about it,
Wow.
you are 100% correct. This magic thing, they have been spreading this for a very long time, and it goes back further than just the newer movies that they made for us when we were teenagers, like It goes back to the princesses, the fairy tales alone. Every last single one of them have magic, and they make you feel like you need magic to have what you want. Not just that, Disney Channel's whole entire commercial break, when they say come back to Disney Channel, they're literally having one of their Disney Channel celebrity stars use a wand. They're using a magical wand to make the Disney ID. Magic is Disney's message. The magical kingdom, you know, even Mickey Mouse is supposed to be magical, supposed to be happy, but that's just their way to indoctrinate children into thinking that magic is good. And now that they have gotten the trust of not just kids, but parents, they're slowly adding in this next agenda that they want to bring in, which I find beyond me, because as a parent, there are certain things that I want my child to learn when I feel comfortable teaching them. I don't think they should be learning these things from TV. They're not going to be sure because of the way it's being portrayed. There's just certain things that we as adults should have conversations with our kids about, that they should not be learning at school or on the TV, nor less a cartoon channel.
Definitely, but sadly it's the world that we're being pushed into, and like I said earlier, those who try to speak against it are the ones that are targeted and called crazy and are the ones that are looked at as the bad people. But in reality, we're just trying to protect our children's minds. Our children's minds are the target with all this content. It's all over Disney, it's all over Nickelodeon, it's all over Cartoon Network, because they all work for the same people. It's all Masonic programming at the end of the day. And this is a part of the Masons' plans. They want to build a new world, and they see themselves as gods, and gods that don't have any gender, gods that can do whatever they want, gods that do what thou will. That's what they want to push, and they have succeeded. They have turned the world into accepting this, and now they're coming after young children because children were the ones that were protected. The adults are forced to accept it, but now they're coming after the children so that the children are forced to accept it. We see how they're coming after them in school. We see how they're coming after them in entertainment. And it's because they know how important it is to shape the minds when they're still young, to shape these kids' minds when they're growing up and they're learning, because it's easier to confuse them. It's easier to sway them a certain way. It's much easier to plant an idea in their minds. And that's exactly what they're doing with these shows. I don't know how many of you are aware of what's going on with Disney in Florida, but the whole situation that's happening with Disney in Florida is because Disney is standing strong trying to push their agenda, while Florida passed some laws that would try to slow down this agenda. It's crazy to see just how many people are confused and manipulated into thinking that we're doing something positive by supporting this agenda. It's not. It's all over hip-hop. It's all over the movies. It's all over kids shows now. Kids shows. Why do kids need to learn about two dads or two moms or any of this? It's unnecessary, and it's just going to confuse them. I understand that there's kids that are dealing with this at home and this is how they actually live, but at the end of the day, that's still a very low minority. There isn't that many kids that are experiencing this, and those kids that are should have this already explained to them by their own parents. I don't think it needs to be explained to them in a TV show about dinosaurs and kids.
I think you're 100% correct. And like you said, the fact that people want to push this message like it's such a good thing, I think they're really getting mixed up, because it's one thing to let the adults do what they want to do. They're adults. What they're thinking about and how they feel and how they're expressing themselves goes with the adult activities that they're doing. But now they're trying to change the minds of children to have them be focused on adult activities when they are still children. Like you said, these kids are focused on playing, having fun. But these adults, because it is the adults that are pushing this agenda, are trying to make these kids be worried about adult activities. That right there should send a big red flag. Because why are you trying to manipulate children to think like adults and want to have adult-like feelings?
Guys, why you didn't tell me this video was getting that long? Dang, it's like 23 minutes, okay? 23 minutes. It's your girl Key. Thanks for clicking on me. If you love this content, if you love this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your girl channel. Okay, now make sure you share this video to your friends who you know that they need this video. And make sure you support my channel. All the links are down below. Follow me on all my social medias, okay? I don't even think I'm gonna be on TikTok like that, because TikTok can stink. So just hit me up on Instagram and Facebook. All right, now, see you in another one.